Hello and welcome back to the channel with me, Caster, and we are going to go through 10 superfoods to up your game in No Man's Sky. Food in No Man's Sky does not have to be used, you do not need it, but there are some very good percentage boosts to equipment if you have the right equipment installed in your exosuit and you use the right superfoods. So food in No Man's Sky can be acquired in many different ways. There's plants on planets, fish in the ocean, even general items such as chromatic metal, carbon, besium can all be used within the nutrient processor to create food. You get the nutrient processor from the Anomaly. You also get a deployable one. The one you're seeing here is the one in the freighter, which I'm going to use today. This is a freighter base piece which you can get from the upgrade station at the central terminal of your freighter for a certain amount of frigate modules. In the Anomaly it will cost you some salvaged data. So in here I've got two set up, so I can do two at once if I really want to. We're going to go into the nutrient processor here and we're going to start with some sweetened mucus. So to make sweetened mucus, now you do have a recipe catalog here. If you go into your nutrient processor, go to cooking recipes, it will open up the catalog and guide, so we can also access this by pressing our start button, catalog and guide here, and down below there'll be recipes, and then we can click on cooking recipes. And as you can see, I have some, not all of them, I have some. So, you know, I've got a lot of work to do to get all the recipes I need to know in this game, but I do know quite a few of them already because I had a permadeath save which I lost, and that had a lot of the recipes in them. So if we go into the nutrient processor, what we need for the sweetened mucus is processed sugar, which can be garnered from either a graberry, sweet root, or cactus nectar, and we need a juicy grub from those vile brood worlds. So if we go into here first and make our processed sugar, let's find I believe I have some sweet root in here, which I do. And there you go, processed sugar. We'll just refine it. 17 will take 1 minute, 20 odd seconds. We only want a couple. So I'm just going to do a couple and it should be done any second now. There you go. We'll take these. We'll put it back in our ingredient storage along with our sweet root. We also have access ingredient storage here. Now this will be the same as in your portable nutrient processor. It is the same ingredient storage. There is also storage of this on your exoskiff, which you use in or on water worlds or on water in general, and you can access it through there as well. On the exoskiff there's also a portable cooking, so you can cook up the fish or other items the same way you do in your nutrient processor. So heading back into our ingredient store here, what I do want now is the grubs I picked up. There they are, juicy grubs, and we'll get two of the nourishing slime. We do want both of them, so we can make two sweetened mucus. And boom, there you go. We can instantly put that back in here, and then we can grab our processed sugar, which is here, and that is going to give us our sweetened mucus. This sweetened mucus we'll put into our exosuit. Now, if we go into our exosuit, we do need something called the nutrient ingester, and this can be found on the Anomaly as well for a bunch of nanites. If we click on it here, you'll see that we can add some cooking items here. So let's add our sweetened mucus. There it is. We'll put it straight in, and this is going to give us 16 minutes worth. So if you had a lot more of these, it would obviously give you more time. Effect is plus 27% hazard protection battery for 16 minutes. So that's really good. If you're on a really harsh world, this sweetened mucus is going to help you survive for longer because of your hazard protection battery, which is nice. I like this item in No Man's Sky. I think it's a really good little sort of upgrade to the exosuit and how you can produce better working technologies within your exosuit. There are better ones than this, which we are going to come on to, but the sweetened mucus is definitely one worth having if you're traveling around those hazardous worlds. At number 2, we have seafood stew. So if we go back into our nutrient processor, and what we'll do is we'll get out some of our cooked seafood. So we've got a fishy slab here. We'll put that in there, and we'll grab some, let's say, brined flesh. And this is going to give us seafood stew. Now, if we wanted to switch these out, obviously we can. We can look for another cooked fish. That's basically what this is, guys. It is just a bunch of cooked fish. Different ones will give you different... will give you the same outcome of seafood stew, but if you use 3, you'll get Sea's Bounty here. So let's do seafood stew. Let's make 2 of those. Now, to cook up fish, catch them on your exoskiff or in and around it by using your angler's rod or fishing rod in a watery place, whether it's a water world or a sort of just a water on a world that isn't a water world, if that makes any sense. And then you can cook them up in your exoskiff on your portable cooker. You can put them in here and cook them here as well. And then you just add 2 and it will normally give you the seafood stew here. So the seafood stew is going to give us 58% breathing efficiency for 16 minutes. So this is in-game 16 minutes, by the way. It is not like the freighter mission or frigate missions, for example, where you can leave it in the background, turn the game off, and it will do it within the time that it says it does it. This is actually in-game 16 minutes. So when you're playing the game, if I was to activate this, come out of the game, come back in, it would normally still have the same amount of time left as to when I left the game. So seafood stew, when you are on water worlds, breathing efficiency of 58% is fantastic when you're in those water worlds, trying to build a base, for example, or trying to get some lithium or whatever it may be in those deep sea environments. The seafood stew is a good way to go. Just while we're here then, we'll also have a look at the Sea's Bounty, because I did see it, we mentioned it. So let's have a look at what this does. This gives us only 55% breathing efficiency, so 3% less, but for 20 minutes. So is this better? Probably is, because it lasts longer. For 2, you get 4 extra minutes. Again, if you had more, it's probably going to last a bit longer, isn't it? But yeah, that's good. Sea Bounty is very nice, and you get recipe complexity there of 100%. It even gives you flavor profiles on these foods, which is, you know, kind of cool, but I don't really understand why we'd need to know that. But prismatic, vivid, and manifold, a bit strange there for flavor profile, but I like it. It's fun, right? That's what the game's supposed to be about. Next on the list is a bit more of a complicated recipe, and we're going to go with the questionably sweet cake. And for this, we need cake batter and sticky honey. Now, the sticky honey is not too bad. You can go and get that from the blob type animals, go and feed them some creature pellets, interact with them, and then you can extract the honey nice and easy. But we need cake batter also, which is a bit more difficult to make. Not difficult, but just a bit more complex. So we do need to get our sticky honey. There it is. And we are going to take 5 of you. I'm just going to make a couple of the synthetic honey. So now we have the synthetic honey. We need to make honey butter. So we can either use churned or bone butter here. I don't actually think I have any butter available. So what we need to do is look for some milk. We've definitely got some milk. We've got wild milk or wild proton milk there. We don't want that. We've got fresh milk as well. So we need to grab our fresh milk, turn it into cream. It's the first step on the way to our churned butter. I'm only doing 2 because I don't want it to take forever, and I also want to save some stuff as well. So the cream into churned butter here. So we've got the churned butter. Now we need our synthetic honey back that we made earlier. That will give us honey butter. So with our honey butter and our refined flour, which is here, and we need either a creature egg, a tool egg, or a giant egg. Creature eggs can be found from like rhinos, hippos, and triceratops type animals. And the tool eggs can be found from very tall animals. That's what I've got. I've got a tool egg. And that is going to make our cake batter. There's also giant eggs, which come from giant animals. So let's make our cake batter. We can make 2 of those. And there you go. We have our cake batter, which we need. Put these away into our ingredient store. And now we need the sticky honey again. There he is. And now we can make our questionably sweet cake. I mean, basically a honey base for the cake batter and butter. And then honey again, and we're going to make 2 of our questionably sweet cakes. And there we are, beautiful. And this is actually what 2 of these is worth 147.2 thousand units. So you make a number of these, you can make quite a nice amount of money out of baking food as well. Let's put these back in here. By adding the questionably sweet cake into our nutrient ingester here, we're going to get 64% resources mined when we're beginning the ingestion on that. Let's go and test this out for a moment. Come to this icy world where there's lots of these carbon trees. So let's get one. That's going to give us 59. That's one. We'll do 3, see what we get out of 3 of them. That gives us 76, 59, 76. And then we'll do this last one here. And this is going to give us 67. We do have some horrible aggressive sentinels on this world, so we do have to be careful. Okay, the sentinel force has died down, so let's go into our nutrient ingester. And we will start to begin ingestion. This will give us 20 minutes of plus 64% meat resources mined here. So let's see, is it going to be any better? Yeah, I mean 298 for that one. Let's do a couple more. What's this one going to be? 259. And then we'll try. I mean, it's obvious that we are getting a lot more resources just by having that questionably sweet cake in our 349 in our nutrient ingester. So definitely worth it, isn't it? I mean, that just goes to show that even the so-called smallest or sort of reasonably powered food is definitely worth it. So number 4 on our list is the Stellarator, or the Stellarator donut. And that takes a lumping donut, stellar custard to make. The lumping donut, clarified oil, dough and processed sugar, whilst the stellar custard takes a silicon egg and cream. Now if we go into our recipes, go to our catalogue and guide, down into recipes here, and we go over to said donut, go to cooking recipes, that'd be great. And then we find the Stellarator, because I have made it before, I'm sure. There's the lumping one. Questionably sweet cake we just did. And there is the Stellarator. And it will tell us what ingredients we need there to make it. So if we go back to the lumping donut there, it will say clarified oil, dough and processed sugar, which means we can just go back here and have a look for clarified oil, and it will give us churned butter, proto butter to make. Nice and easy. So we know, and if we do click on it here, we can view all recipe steps for this particular item. So we go back to the Stellarator. So all the way over here, we can view recipe steps. And there you go. It will give us everything we need. So we need either one of these to make proto cream, or cream to make butter, to make the clarified oil. So you need either churned, either proto, or bone, I believe, to make clarified oil. And then it's got the steps here to make the dough, and etc. and etc. Because we already have the Stellarator, and it gives us, just like the last one, the questionably sweet cake. It gives us 64% resources mined. So a good one again. I do like the 64% resources mined. It's a very good one if you're going out there and hunting for stuff. Probably, is it a little bit easier to make than the questionable cake? I'm not sure. So next on our list is another donut, this time the Anomalous Doughnut. And this takes anomalous jam and a lumping donut to make. So we have some hexaberry, which I've already put in there. We need some processed sugar, which I believe we already made. There it is, hexaberry processed sugar will give us anomalous jam. All the way around it goes. Wonderful stuff. We can put that in there. And then we can get our last lumping donut. There it is. And that will give us our anomalous donut. And the anomalous donut gives us plus 6,443% fauna analysis rewards for 10 minutes. That is crazy. Shall we go and test this out? I think that's a good idea. Okay, we got this little bear for 189,616. So if we go into our exosuits and we start ingesting, we'll get plus Over 6,000 for this. Right, let's see if I can get another one, because we've already got our scanner completely upgraded with S-class upgrades. So here we go. 12,217,572 units for one single scan. Now tell me that is not worth it. Holy moly. That is unbelievable amounts of Wonga just for scanning one animal. Let's do this again. This weird thing here. 22,907,948. Holy shockingness. And I haven't been using this all that often, by the way. So I think I've made a big mistake there in not using it. Our last donut on our list is the Wriggling Doughnut at number 6 on our superfoods. For this, we need wriggling jam and a lumpin donut. We already know what a lumpin donut needs. We've been through that already. But the wriggling jam takes crab apple, which you can get from any animal that looks like a crab on a planet, and processed sugar. Processed sugar being made from a graberry, cactus nectar, and sweet root. Lovely. And we've already made our lumpin donut, which is here, and that will give us our wriggling donuts. Beautiful. We'll put that in our exosuit here, and then go into our nutrient ingester is here, and that will give us plus 6,548% flora analysis rewards. So just like the Anomalous Doughnut, which gives us the fauna rewards, which was the highest one was 22 million. We were getting 12 million. This will be the same for flora. There's no point going out and testing it, because we'll do exactly the same thing that it done for the fauna analysis. So when you're going around and checking planets or looking to analyze all the animals to get the extra nanites, 250 nanites, when you upload them onto the system, take one of these if you've got the nutrient ingester available, and definitely put these in there and go and scan, because you'll just make millions and millions and millions. A real easy way of making money. And by the way, I will just add that the nutrient ingester is a late game piece of equipment, so don't be shocked if you start up and you can't get it straight away. That's not how it's going to work with the nutrient ingester, unfortunately. Cake of Sin is number 7 on our list of superfoods, and we need to start by making a delicate meringue. A delicate meringue is made up of, so we need larval core, which will actually make baked eggs, which is interesting enough, and then we need some processed sugar, and we get this delicate meringue. And we only really want to do one of each, because we do need to keep our larval cores. It does take a couple of larval cores here to make this. Then need some refined flour. Where is the refined flour? And that will make withering rolling batter, which is what we want. And then to make our Cake of Sin, we then need some crab apple, which we do have because we've already used it. And that will make Cake of Sin. Quite an easy recipe there than some of the others, I think. The withering boiling batter isn't that bad to make. Now, let's see what the Cake of Sin gives us in our nutrient ingester here. There it is. This will give us, again, mineral analysis rewards of plus 6,463%, which is unbelievable. That is going to do the same thing as the fauna. So you've got the fauna, flora, and now the mineral analysis rewards of over 6,000 here. And it's just going to give you so much money should you want to go out and explore a world. And then you can do them in sections. You could do your fauna first, then your flora, and then your mineral, or whichever way around you want. But you could make absolutely hundreds of millions, maybe even billions of units doing it this way. So there is your mineral analysis rewards via food. So if you've already got your upgraded scanner in your multi-tool like I have here, you'll absolutely make loads of money. Next up is the Muculent Tart. I think I've said that correctly. And first of all, we need to make a pastry or pie case. So we need to make pastry first for the pie case. And that takes churned butter, which is fresh milk into cream, cream into churned butter, and take some refined flour here, which we've already gone through, and make our pastry. And then we simply put our pastry in here to make it into a pie case, like so. We then need some sweetened mucus. So sweetened mucus is nourishing slime, which we already have some of. And of course some processed sugar, which we do have some of as well. I believe we already have some sweetened mucus, but we'll make another one anyway. We did have sweetened mucus. Look, if we grab our pie case, which is here, we will get the Muculent Tart. And the Muculent Tart, 120% life support tanks for 10 minutes. That is pretty good, isn't it? 120% life support tanks. Holy moly. So let's say I have 2 Muculent Tarts. Put those in 20 minutes now. So we're doubling our time. We'll get 120% life support tanks. Imagine if you had 10. What'd you get? An hour? Whatever it is, 100 minutes. I mean, that's more than an hour, obviously. 100 minutes. I mean, that would be amazing at 120% life support tanks. That is a very good one, in my opinion, the Muculent Tart, because I am forever leaving it too late to recharge my life support tanks. Next up, we have Unbound Monstrosity, which is made from 3 things we've already been through: the Anomalous Jam, the Withering Boiling Batter, and Cream. So nice and easy one to make here for me. But the recipe log will show these again if you cannot remember. But the the Unbound Monstrosity here, let's have a look what this one is going to give us. Holy moly. 315% jetpack tanks for 10 minutes for one of them. 2 of them will be 20, 3 of them will be 30, 6 of them will be 60, etc. That is unbelievable. That's massive. That is a huge percentage for your jetpack tanks. Loving this one, because when you're running around a planet having a look, this is just going to give you so much more jetpack tanks. I think I'm going to go and test this one out. So here we are on the beginnings of my base, and this is what my base looks like at the moment. I haven't anywhere near finished it. It's inside of a mountain, and this is a nice planet that I like being on. So, I mean, this is how long my jetpack lasts for at the moment. I'm going to leave a little bit at the end there so I don't fall and die. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. Let's get into our nutrient ingester and have a go of this. 115%. Let's let the jetpack get all the way full, and then we'll go again. So here it is, nice and full. Oh wow, look how long that is lasting for. That is crazy. And because I've got all the upgrades, it is actually replenishing itself as I am not using it, as I'm falling through the air. That is a lot of jetpack. That is unbelievable amounts of jetpack. Oh, I think this might be my new favourite one. Look how long it's lasting for. That is wicked. And last on our list of superfoods to up your game in No Man's Sky, we've got the Perpetual Ice Cream. And it's quite easily made, actually. Some frozen tubers and hexaberry, along with some viscous custard, which is made with the following items: sweet root into processed sugar, fresh milk into cream, tool eggs as well. You can use creature eggs or giant eggs. And these 3 will make viscous custard into perpetual ice cream. If you remove the hexaberry, you will just get ice cream itself. So let's have a look at what that does for our nutrient processor. Where are you? There you are. And it's 320% jetpack tanks. This is the biggest one you can get for your jetpack tanks, I believe. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. There are other foods which will do other percentages of jetpack tanks. I believe the Unbound Monstrosity does 315% jetpack tanks. The Interstellar Fantasy might even be bigger at 328% jetpack tanks. Please do let me know if that is the biggest one you can do in terms of food for your jetpack tanks. But 320%, only one of them for 10 minutes is pretty pretty decent. So there you go, guys. There is your 10 superfoods to up your game in No Man's Sky. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know of any other superfoods I may have missed that you use or you think are the best ones down in the comments. And I may make another video about 10 more. Let's see how many we get in the comments. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Take care out there. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Bye-bye.